For 5 minutes.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman. I thank Mr. Bartlett from Maryland for making the case. I tell my friends that when they say women and children first, it means to save them, not to throw them overboard. Women and children first means that they are the most vulnerable and need to be lifted up, need to be protected, need to be given the hand up, not the hand out. Ladies and gentlemen of this House, I rise in opposition to this bill. And I thank my friend from Maryland, for whom I have great respect. I think, in fact, he did put this in context. We will not balance the budget on the backs of children. We will not balance this budget on the backs of women who need nutrition and health care. That's not how we're going to balance the budget, and the gentleman from Maryland made that point, I think, very effectively. If we cut out all defense and discretionary spending, we wouldn't balance our budget. That's the magnitude of the problem that faces us, but a great country, America, should not ask our children who need nutritional programs, who need health programs, to pay the price of our irresponsibility, because we have failed to pay for what we buy. But let us not repair to our little children and their mothers to pay the bill that we refuse to pay, while at the same time we pass a rule the first day in this House that provides for $5 trillion in tax cuts for the wealthiest in America, including. I don't want a tax cut if it means that a child goes hungry in America, the richest nation on the face of the earth. That is not my priority. That is not my morality. That is not my faith. Lift up the little children. Surely America is not a country that wants to see its children go hungry, or its pregnant women go without services they need for healthy babies. Surely America is a generous enough country to feed those who need food. My faith tells me to feed the hungry, house the homeless, clothe those who have no clothes. I rise in opposition to this bill, and I rise in strong opposition to attempts to dramatically cut the food programs that serve some of our most vulnerable constituents. Erskine Bowles, a Democrat, Alan Sensen, a Democrat, a Republican, former member of the United States Senate, just issued a report. And in that report, it lays forth a number of premises on which that report is based. And one of its first premises is, do not hurt the vulnerable in America. Because, as my friend from Maryland points out, that won't get you to where we need to get. And we need to get there. And I'm going to work with my friend from Maryland, a Republican, and all Republicans who know that we need to get to balanced budgets, to reduce debt, and my friends on my side of the aisle. This appropriation bill would sharply reduce funding for the vital nutrition programs for women, infants, and children. Surely Americans did not send us a message to go to Washington and undermine women, infants, and children. At a time when we are still recovering from the worst economic crisis in a generation, where unemployment is unacceptably high, where people have lost their homes, where too many people, are in great distress, surely this is not a time to say we turn our back on you. This budget, this bill, pushing to cut $37 million in support for hungry, low-income seniors, not just women, infant, and children. This bill cuts seniors as well. Surely our people did not send us to this Congress to cut seniors. $11 million in support for our community food banks. By the way, if you visited your food bank, you know that there is more demand on our food banks than there has ever been. Ladies and gentlemen, reject this bill. Stand up for the values of America and of our people. I yield back the balance of my time.
For what purpose is the gentleman